How's it going, fight fans? It's Spaniard, Northwest Fight Scene. I'm sitting here at Brave Legion with the man, Rick Horror Story, fresh off his fifth win.
Yeah,
Fifth straight win in the UFC at the Ultimate Fighter Finale 12. A real good decision, man. You really turned it up in those last couple rounds. Before we get into talking about the fight and your win, let's talk about your training, your preparation stuff going into it, and kind of anything that you might have done different, that led up to it.
This fight, it was more based around being mentally tough and not giving up. Period. And that was primarily the whole focus. My conditioning's always been there in my fights, and my first fight in the UFC, my mind completely wasn't there. I can say that now because I've had the experiences where I've been there, and now I know what to expect. And this fight, I didn't want to get caught up in being on the main card, being on television, having everyone see me. So we worked on mental toughness drills and pushing yourself and staying focused when you're starting to get tired. And that's,
Gotta be one of the most important things to a fighter.
yeah, because I'm always in shape. I can always go 3 5-minute rounds. I train 5 5-minute rounds and sparring, and the training is more and more intense. But when you get out there, there's a lot more stress involved as far as the cameras, as far as the crowd, as far as following the UFC schedule, walkouts, interviews, meetings, and the whole build-up of the entire camp before you actually do the fight. It's like a big burden. It's like a whole bunch of stress on your chest, and working mentally to familiarize yourself, visualize, and under that stress, work to perform and try to emulate that when you're training. It's kind of difficult, and it makes it really mentally tough.
Well, it worked out. You talked about that you went to a couple of places in California, got to train, and you actually landed a Team Alpha Male in Sacramento with Uriah Faber. Talk about your experiences there a little bit and what you got out of that camp.
We ended up going down to AKA about 2 weeks before my fight. We went down there hoping to get some sparring with Koscheck and Fitch. Ended up not working out. So instead of just staying down at AKA, we ended up going up to Uriah Faber's gym in Sacramento and got some good sparring in there. Johnny's a little bit smaller than me, he's quicker, and he had great wrestling credentials there at Uriah Faber's gym. They had good wrestlers and good strikers, and they're all like really small. They're all kind of like hobbits, and but they're quick hobbits. So what our focus going in there was get a whole bunch of sparring with a bunch of smaller guys and have guys that rotating on me because I'm bigger than them, and just constantly keep giving me angles, keep giving me the speed look, and it made me really work on my head movement and just the pace of the fight, keeping it up.
So, and then most of the other training you did in Vancouver at Brave Legion?
Yeah. The rest of the training was here. It was 6 days a week, pretty much. Start off 6 hours a day for the first month and a half, and then we tapered down to 4, and then went down to 2, and just kept it intense.
So now let's talk about the fight. Obviously you got the unanimous decision, a great win, your 5th win. Talk about the rounds and leading up to the fight. Did everything go right? Just kind of give us a little what was going through backstage, through your mind, all that.
Well, I was the most prepared for this fight than I have for any other fight, and knowing that Johnny was undefeated, and he's a 4-time NCAA All-American, 2-time national champion, 1-time runner-up, that he has some of the best, well, if not the best wrestling credentials in the UFC right now. And me, I was a runner-up in the NAIA, and there's a big discrepancy there, and that mentally alone, would kind of have most people's minds in a bunch or in a jam. And I train seriously really hard, and I know that I can hang with any of those caliber wrestlers. And even though I didn't have those credentials going in, I know that I can hang, if not out wrestle those kind of guys. You see it all the time. And George St. Pierre, no wrestling at all, but he he's wrestling with the Olympic Canadian team because he's so athletic and well, strong and good at it, explosive.
Now, after the win, you're winning. Where do you see yourself, and you got anybody that you'd like to fight?
Well, I mean, I know I need to fight another person on the top level. I want to fight guys up in the top 10. I just want the exposure. I want people seeing that I belong up there. There's always critics and always people out there saying that, oh, he can't hang. Well, it's like I want to put all those critics put all those critics to the side and let them realize like what we have going on here.
So you use the hate as fuel.
Yeah, definitely works in my favor. I'm always seem like I'm the underdog going into fights, and I don't really care who I fight going to this next one. I just want somebody that's in the top 10 that'll get me recognized as one of the top fighters in the world, and anything that'll put me closer to getting that title.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with me. Anybody you'd like to thank for the interview?
I'd like to thank my team, Brave Legion, here in Vancouver, Washington. And if anybody in the Northwest wants to train, come check out Brave Legion, and our website's bravelegion.com.
Heard it here. Rick Story, Spaniard, Northwest Fight Scene. Thank you very much.
There.